All of you guys. Unbelievable. Oh, my goodness. Look at him, the facial hair. What is up, everybody? Welcome into the Michael Porter Jr. Player Preview.
Let's go.
He's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go.
He's back. And it's exciting to have him back. Already the preseason. We're 4 games into the preseason. Already enjoying the Michael Porter experience.
Oh, man.
Dude,
Preseason basketball is the best.
Did you ever stop? Did you ever stop?
No.
We didn't stop loving it. It left us.
It just left us for a little while, left us lonely. Expecting big things from him. But first, let's look at last year's stats, which are probably irrelevant. Look at this, 9.9 points, 6.6 rebounds, and then 20.8% from 3. He only played 9 games. What the hell? These stats don't even matter, guys. I don't even look at these stats. He was hurt last year. He had a hurt back all year. To me, is there one relevant thing we could take from the stats?
What?
It's just that he's never put up numbers like this when he's played. So by that, you know he just wasn't himself. I mean, even when Michael Porter Jr. came into the Nuggets rotation at first as a rookie, he was still like ridiculously efficient. So you look at those percentages and you're like, okay, something was up here.
Well, the other thing is that we are now 4 preseason games, and he had 1 bad shooting game out of 4. But the other ones, they're like 5 of 7, 7 of 9. Like, they're back to his old numbers. So, to me, I think we can almost throw out everything. Is there anything, though, Eric, that you notice in his stats line at all that, you think, this is what I'm looking at?
I mean, really just that we shouldn't have made Kale make that graphic.
Yeah, I agree.
Should just think about the health and well-being of our staff here at DNVR. I mean, those numbers mean nothing. Like, who cares?
Vogt, is there a number though you are looking at for him this year that you want to see that that you're most paying attention to?
Oh, well, the rebounding numbers for sure, because I anticipate the shooting numbers to be there.
Are you really?
Fair.
You're just penciling him in for 40% from 3?
I am.
You got to at this point.
I am going to do that.
Me too.
I don't even think we need his rebounding. I've seen enough in
Shot quality F.
Well,
shot accuracy A+.
I feel like if he just knocks down threes like we saw him do last night, all of us, each one of us watched the game intently and took notes from it.
Yeah, that's right.
The Clipper game. I was locked in.
All 4 of us couldn't get enough of that game. It was incredible. It's not reliant on Michael Porter Jr. to just.
This is true.
The greatest thing about where we are as a team, I think, is that we're allowing, much in the same way DNVR is growing. We are going from generalists to specialists, and Michael Porter Jr. can be a very high-level specialist.
But the reason I circle that, Eric, is because when he first hit the scene, he was clearly this elite shooter, but in my opinion, a budding elite rebounder as well.
I agree.
Had a nose for it, the athleticism.
It was great.
And the equation on both his rebounding and his cutting to the rim changed a little bit when Aaron Gordon got here. Now, Aaron Gordon's presence is for the best, but I think a healthy sign of Porter figuring out sharing the court with all these guys, including AG, do they have an idea of who's cutting and when and who's crashing the glass and when? And seeing Porter get back to a high level in that regard, I think it's just another way he can contribute, and particularly in a way that Jeff Green could not last year.
And by the way, because I agree with Vogt, I think that the rebounding is a meaningful number. And if we look at it, his rookie season, 10.5 rebounds per 36 minutes. We expect him to play 30 minutes a game this year, so that's probably 9, 10 rebounds a game. That's a lot. And the reason I think it's important is, if you recall, one of the reasons Michael Malone wants him in the corner so much is because it's a great rebounding spot as well. Like, defense rotates over and you get a lot of putbacks, a lot of second chance opportunities. So for me, I am looking to him to have somewhere around that 10 rebounds per 36-minute mark. Last 2 seasons, he was right around 8. The season before that, 10.5. So to me, I think 10 is like a good, hey, Denver can use that. Whether or not they need offensive rebounding, it's to me, offensive rebounding is more of a symptom of a healthy offense. You spread the defense out, and then you have guys that are taking advantage of that.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. I just think, from my perspective, Michael Porter Jr. is such a unique and delicate specimen that can do things I've never seen before, and I don't really want him to get dirty. Like, I want him to preserve his back.
Don't do the dirty work.
You know what I mean? Like, really,
right,
I want him out of the mind. I just want him
to that.
with that beautiful, like, floor spacing 3-pointer that is deadly. I want Mike.
Yeah.
I want Aaron Gordon to get rebounds.
All right,
Nikola
all
Jokic
right.
should get rebounds. You know,
I want everybody to. There is one central question, though, I think, with Michael Porter this year. One big question. It's really been the question for Michael Porter in his entire career, and that is, will he, Michael Porter Jr., mesh with Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray by the end of the regular season? And, of course, they already mesh. The three of those guys, when they're on the court, their offensive rating is like 126 or something like that, which is, for those of you that don't know, that's better than the peak Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant when they had their death lineup out. So they already do this. But
oh no!
And yet, it still feels at times like there's a little bit of clunkiness to it, that it's not perfectly in sync the way we've seen the Murray-Jokic two-man game be in sync. We haven't seen the three-man game. So this is my big question. Eric, you're nauseated by the question. Do you think that by the end of the year, Michael Porter is going to have that same or similar chemistry as the other two?
I'm nauseated because I'm going to go so over the top with this. My confidence level is like already like I don't need that stat in my life. Like I'm already like that's disgusting. Yes, of course, dude. That's the thing. Like this guy is so transcendent. When he just like when we have been robbed of Mike and Blue Murray flurries and Jokic
Mike
supreme control of the floor altogether. If all three are working the way that we've seen it work in the past, it's already unstoppable. And then we have other elements. Just give me some time, please.
Mikes are on par with anything else that happens with the Nuggets. Like
Oh,
we all love Jokic,
Nothing
10 out of
better.
10. But honestly, when Mike pulls up in transition and just drains a back-breaking three,
You
it's
just
like
yell, yeah, Mike, into the atmosphere.
Mike is the closest thing we have to insult to injury with the Nuggets. Like when it's not enough that it's 3 points, it's three demoralizing points.
Yeah.
Like,
all right. Well, we have our rose-colored glasses on. Wind, is there? I mean, how confident are you that these three are going to find that perfect synergy?
Will those three ever find the synergy that Jamal and Nikola have in the two-man game? I don't think so. I don't think they'll ever be like that. But
Cold water.
if you remember, before Jamal Murray got hurt, Michael Porter Jr. was morphing into Klay Thompson and scoring like 30 points on 3 dribbles.
That's right.
And they did have a great chemistry. It wasn't as good as the Murray-Jokic two-man game because that's in a territory that a lot of things just can't get to. But I think they're going to be good enough, to win a championship and play at the highest level together.
Porter as a third option makes a lot of sense. And I think what we're going through is the process of him coming into that realization, him fully understanding and mastering that role. But look at the last 2 games, even without Jamal against the Clippers. Heliocentric Mike, absolute disaster. The guy can't dribble, can't make a lot of reads. If it's just him looking for shots that he wants to find for the fun of it, it may not go great. But when he's sharing the court with those guys, the shots are limited to open looks, late shot clock looks, cuts. It's not. He doesn't get the opportunity to go looking for his shot off the dribble, and it falls into place in a natural way. So I don't think it'll ever be perfect. No, but I don't think there'll be that Golden State level of synergy. But that's okay too. I think the talent is there.
dude,
I mean, what we saw,
it
I
might
think
be that perfect. Man.
part of it is Eric and I are coming off of watching this game last night, the game
we're
4 preseason, where Michael Porter really did play within that role. Now, was he perfect? No, there's still misreads. And in a perfect world, the ball is finding him more than it found him last night. And again, I know a lot of people maybe will blame the offense. I always still think that there's room for him to learn more about how to call his own number within the flow of the offense. But I am so encouraged by games like last night where he just was so content to not force things that it makes you think like, hey man, just get this guy on the court for 30 games in a row. For 30 games in a row, just consistent, be on the court, and I think he will start to find those things out. So I'm going to say 50-50.
Wow!
Way to be bold.
You guys want some bold takes? Let's get even more
bolder
bold
than that one?
Let's get even more bold than that with some bold predictions here. Who should I let them vote? I'm going to make you start off here.
Okay, guys. So last year,
this sucks. I just read it. Oh no, it's not. That's not yours.
All right, cool. Last year, I
probably
predicted
mine.
that Michael Porter Jr. would lead the league in three-point percentage. We just showed the stats. I think he was at 20%.
He was last in the league?
That's not
he wasn't
good
that
enough.
great, yeah.
So I'm going to change it this year to Nothing different. I'm running it back. Michael Porter Jr. is going to lead the league in 3-point percentage.
What's that percentage look like? And this is like, I'm guessing of guys that take at least like 3 or 4 or something like that.
Yeah, there's
High
going to be
volume.
someone who.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like what is it, 45% on
All
high
right,
volume? Is it possible?
45% on volume.
I mean, it's look. Here's the thing about
He doesn't
Michael.
ever miss.
I know. So he's not as far as prospects. I mean, look, the back. We may never know because of the back, but it's not Luka, Victor, LeBron. Fine, but him shooting the ball, we have to recognize as an anomaly. These types of shooters are not. This isn't. Oh, he's a very good NBA shooter. Like no, he is one of those glitches in the matrix type of shooters.
And what happens to Denver's offense once, you make it halfway through the season shooting 45, 46% on volume? Just what happens to the rest of Denver's offense? Defense is overload because they're like, we can't get this guy to corner. Just we're playing 4-on-4 because we have to put one guy on full-time Michael Porter babysitting.
Yeah.
And I'm
Me too, man.
This is the brightest timeline. All right, Wind, let's see what you got.
I think he's going to play in at least 65 games this year. I'm buying the health because, look, he missed all of last season, but the 2 seasons before that, he barely was hurt. So it's like people talk about Michael Porter Jr. like he can't make it through an NBA season. Well, his first 2 years that he played, he did make it through an NBA season, really without any type of huge injury.
Right.
So he's done it before. He took all of last year off. He's in a great space right now. I'm buying the health.
All right, 65 is a lot.
That is buying the health is bold.
65 is a lot. Eric, do you have a bold take?
I mean, it's kind of the same. I said he's going to make it through the full season. I just think, like Harrison says, it's an off year. It's an on-year, off year. His off year is an on-year.
All right, it kind of goes off, on, off,
It's
on,
good.
on. We got 2 years.
2 ons.
years.
We have a 2-year window here.
I understand the phrasing is confusing, but he's going to play the whole year, and he's going to be very impactful. The Nuggets are going to achieve all of our dreams. It's going to be beautiful.
You guys have some bold, albeit uninspired, bold takes.
Right.
I have a very inspired
Clean
one.
us
You
up,
guys
Adam.
ready?
Yeah.
No,
I think Michael Porter is going to join a very rare and distinguished club of players to make 10
DNVR
three-pointers
show?
in one game. 10
Whoa.
threes in one
10
game.
threes,
It's
okay.
only
He's gonna
happened a
join
handful of
Ty
times.
Lawson?
It's only happened like 15 times in the NBA. Malik Beasley also has one, another former Nugget. Steph Curry has like 22 of these. Guess what? Michael Porter already has a game with 8 threes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He already has a game with 8 threes. Can you imagine Michael Porter just getting hot, hitting like 4 in a row? First of all, yes, you can imagine him hitting 3, 4 in a row. And then can you imagine the Nuggets looking for him the rest of the game just to be like, you know what, this guy's on fire. He takes 2 or 3 bad ones that go in, so he's up to 7. And then it's just you're having fun the rest of the game.
He just needs 2 Porter quarters of
Porter half.
4 made
Porter
threes,
half.
and then just 2 more the rest of the way.
I mean, we already have seen Michael Porter make 20 points in a quarter. Like, we've already seen Porter quarters that are enormous.
Hey, wait, who are the guys that have done it? What's the
I
list?
mean, there's like 15 guys, but I mean, at the top of that is Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. And here's the thing about it, and this is why I think it's going to happen or has a great chance to happen. With Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, the Warriors are so good and so in sync that when one of those guys get it going, the rest of the team just starts running things for them to get it.
Oh, yeah.
I think the same is going to happen for the Nuggets this year. I've already seen it this year. I've already seen it in training camp, in the scrimmage we got to watch, and I've seen it in the games already. When Michael Porter hits a couple shots, Jokic is like, I'm calling that play.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, get him the ball, and let's just let him fire it away. I think Jokic has even learned the, like, hey, I might not have to run all the way down if I just run a handoff to him and hand it to him. He's got to shoot it, and I get a little playoff.
I also think Yo gets like, this is not going to last the whole game, but this is the Porter quarter.
Yeah.
Feed that.
So
Feed
10 threes in a game.
I like it.
And that's
bold.
30 points alone on 3-pointers, man. We're talking about
I think
a major-
Denver's probably winning that game.
I think Denver's probably winning that game as well. You guys want to play a little over-under?
Yes.
Let's play a little over-under,
I'm
man.
over.
Go a little.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Michael Porter Jr.'s career high for a season in points per game was 19.0. 19.0. Are we going to go over or under 19 points per game for Michael Porter? The reveal.
Under.
We got 3 unders, 1 over. All right, Vogt, you're the anomaly here.
Yeah. It's going to happen in borderline unique fashion, and he's going to take maybe the fewest dribbles ever taken for someone to average 20 points per game. And I don't think it's going to be 20 plus. We're really talking about that small difference. But I just think he's really good, you guys.
How many 20 points per game scores does Denver have? Is he just one of 2?
Yeah, I mean, 3.
It's very rare for 3 players to
You're
average
right.
20. It's extremely
You're
rare.
right. You're right. I mean, I do think that's why Porter gets a max. Is the upside of this team is 320 point per game scorers.
All right.
So I'm gonna say it.
I hope so.
All right, Wind, what do you think? You think under, huh?
I was under. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we do this a lot.
It's so true.
In years past, before Jokic was winning the MVPs, we were like, oh, is Jamal Murray going to lead the Nuggets in scoring? It's just always Jokic. And I don't know if Porter's going to have the volume to get the 20 per game for the year. We know he can fill it up. He'll have a ton of 30-point games, but I think he'll also have games in the teens. I don't think he'll have that consistent volume to get there.
Yeah.
Strong argument.
A lot of mouths.
Yeah.
This
team's deep, man. This team's deep.
I think he would be aided in this quest to get to 20 points per game if he plays a lot of minutes with the bench, which we don't anticipate happening just yet. But if it does evolve to that, he's just going to end up getting a lot of extra shots. So
here's the other thing, too. I mean, to start the season, is Jamal Murray playing the other end of back-to-backs? Is he playing a lot? Is he shooting a lot? Notorious slow starter. So, it's not a disaster if Jamal finishes under 20 points per game this season. If he's an 18-19 guy.
Also, is Michael Porter Jr. playing more than 30 minutes a game this year?
Probably not.
That's going to be tough. To score 20 points in less than 30 minutes a game.
Dashing my dreams.
That's what I'm here for.
Michael Porter Jr.'s career average from three is 42%, which is insane to think about. 42% on the volume that he's doing, about 5 a game. Is he going to be over or under 42% this year?
I already locked myself into
this. He's going to be under.
What? Wind? How could you do this? This is the one. All right, under.
You think he's going to be You think he's going to be shooting enough to make 10 threes in a game?
Yes.
And think he's going over 42% for the season?
The reason you shoot 10 in a game is because you make a lot of them, and you're like, well, I keep shooting. You don't shoot 10 because you missed them.
Look, man. There's no way he's shooting over 42% from three this year
only
on the type of volume that he's going to have.
Hey, man, 3 years he has played in this league. One, he only took like 23-pointers, and that was the only year he was below 42%. Other 2 years, he was over it on way higher volume.
A lot of dissonance over this. Brendan has stated definitively he will lead the NBA.
It was a bold prediction to me. Other bold predictions include Aaron Gordon invites us to his house. I just want to make sure we know.
That was mine.
Did you go over or under?
I went over.
What do you think?
What put a number on it. He's to be clear, he shot 42.2%, 44.5% in his 2 healthy seasons.
I mean, he 44, 45. Yeah, he's in there. He's that good.
I'm with Eric, in part because he's that good, and in part because I really do think this offense is going to have enough open guys that guys like KCP and MPJ are going to have open shots.
We've already seen that. Yeah, KCP had whatever he wanted last night.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, just get to the corner.
Let's get to the next one. Oh, single game high. Single game high. This is a fun one. Michael Porter, he's prone to going off. Porter quarters. I'm going to set the single game high at 42.5%. Are we going to go over or under? Points in a single game.
Under.
42.5
Guys, I told you he's going to have 10 threes in a game.
Finally got me.
Yeah, that's only 30 points.
Wow! I'm the anomaly on this one. Here's the thing, man. Michael Porter's a scorer. He's just a scorer, and he gets hot. To me, I think there are going to be games when he's the hot hand. I think there's going to be games when they're feeding him, and I think he's going to get to 42 points.
Yeah.
He rebounds, he shoots the 3, and even he gets to the line. Like, he actually attacks the basket hard. I think 42 is very much within reason.
Them feeding Michael Porter, like the Nuggets keep feeding Michael Porter, that would be a new development. Because 2 years ago, he would have these Porter quarters and then just go dead quiet.
That's a good point.
For another couple quarters.
That's really true.
He can keep that consistency up, and it has as much to do with him as it has to do with the Nuggets, I feel like, then he could get there maybe.
Yeah, man, that 40 barrier is like a real thing. Like when Jamal,
it's got to be a close game.
Yeah, it's like, and then also, that's kind of like you have to want to hit that,
Yeah.
And you have to be aided. You can't do that by yourself. You have to be, unless you're a primary ball handler. So I think he can probably get to 40. I mean, 42. That's outrageous. 42.
Blasphemy.
All right, here's one for you. The big 4, and I'm counting Aaron Gordon, of course, Michael Porter, Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic. Their offensive rating this season, 124.
Ooh.
I'm setting at 124.
Holy cow,
that's
that's so
really high.
high. That's
I'm
so
telling you, the Golden State Warriors, when they had Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, theirs was right around 124. It's 123 and a half, something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
124 when those guys are on the court together, over or under.
You could have set
Wind
this
is
at
hilarious,
140, and I would go over.
Wind went straight no on all of these, and then he went better than
Hey,
Golden
man,
State.
I'm all about the team here.
Yeah, he's not talking about
I'm buying the
specifically
team.
Porter,
Behind the
yeah.
team. You're selling Michael Porter, though. I've noticed that one. I've noticed that.
What's going on?
He looks pretty low on Michael Porter.
I'm sorry, I don't think he's going to score 40 points in the game. That
Yeah,
means
yeah.
I'm low on him.
No.
That's where we're at.
I think he's going to shoot 41%
Three
from
straight
three, not
unders.
42.
3 straight unders.
I'm low on him.
I think it's only going to be a slight under.
I think he's going to play in 65 games. I'm so low on him.
Hey, here's the thing, though, because I think that lineup's going to play so many minutes, and over time, you're just bound to have bad games that drag it down. So I think it is going to be south of that, but I think it's going to be somewhere around 122, 123. And when we talk about 1,000-plus minutes with a lineup scoring 123 as an offensive rating, that's pretty absurd. Denver's defense last year was horrible against the Golden State Warriors. 122 defensive rating. So they can, in theory, still outscore that horrible defense that they had if they were to be as bad defensively.
We're in dangerous waters right now where if
Don't
you,
say it.
No, I'm not saying it,
Okay.
but if
thinking it, though.
if you feel like
Can't say the word.
the Nuggets won't have the most potent offense of all time, you're low on Michael Porter Jr.
Somebody will be in the comments being like, why are you guys hating on him, man? All right, that does it. As you can clearly see, we're all very excited about Michael Porter's season. I mean, he's such an enigma wrapped in a mystery.
There it is.
But you see the talents, you see the upside, and we've had it for extended periods. Is this the year we get that full shot upside at one of the best times? If so, I think the Nuggets are winning a championship. That does it. We'll see everybody on the other side.